Good morning.
What's up, dude? I'm gotta get the
It
bookshelf
in,
back.
leave it in, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Went from
yeah.
bedroom to bookshelf,
I
right?
was just at my everybody's home today. I'm sure are your kids home yet? Are both boys home
So
yet?
I
Or?
got one that's home and I got another one that's coming in tonight.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got everybody just they just went to go play out to whatever. They're so ridiculous.
You can say you because I'm telling Ben he should leave on in.
No, they
Realizing is like, yeah, I did this even with Jesse the other day. Like he just sits down and we start talking and we do it.
yeah.
The guys are like, "Are we like rolling?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Aren't we always?"
Yeah. No, it's they were going to play tennis with a neighbor, which is great. And then, my son's like, and I knew it. You know how you're like, I'm like, all right, great. I have to do this show we're gonna do. Like just I can't pump the tires. Like, you know how to do it now, right? Like, I taught you like 7500 times. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, all right, if I come out right now, like you're good. It's like I'm going on, it's like 10:55. I'm like, you're gonna be fine. Yeah. I'm like, all right, so I sit down, about to log in. Dad. Oh, let me guess. You don't know how to pump the tires. Well, the nozzle, it's the nozzle. The nozzle's not working, right? It won't go on. You put the tire thing in and flip the thing up. It won't go. What do I get if I fix like right the classic like dad like what do I get if I do it on the first try?
Right.
Nothing. I mean, it's broken. So obviously for 2 seconds in, like, oh, oh, it has to go all the way down. And it's like, dude, we've done this. We've pumped your tires your whole life.
It's
Like, how do you
broken.
not
Come
know
on,
how to use
John. It's broken. The reason it didn't work, it's
Yeah.
broken.
Every
Remember?
dad listening knows like there's those
Broken.
things where it's like, dude, we've done this. I've sat and showed you, we've talked about it, I've made you do it in front of me.
Why are we just pigeonholing this into every dad? Can we
Yeah.
also just say that every husband knows this also? Because you
Yeah, well, yeah.
have a son, like again, it doesn't matter whether my
Yeah.
boys are home or not. I spent the morning again trying to same thing. The YouTube was broken, of course, because Kate couldn't get the video up on YouTube that we do this bouncing thing now.
Right.
I told you about this. Like we do this Jules Horn like lymphatic morning like
Yes, this is
workout.
the thing where you kind of you look like you're having a seizure, but you just kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
jiggling around.
You
Yeah.
jump up and down and you
Yeah.
let everything go and then you swing and this thing is 28 minutes long. And when we both now
You do
do
it for 28 minutes?
it's 28 minutes. I actually like to go into the garage gym, do it after my morning walk with the dogs.
Mm.
Kate has now decided to do it like in the fucking living room, like whenever she wants to, and
Okay.
has no idea how to really use YouTube. Yeah, she
Really?
insists
All
that she
right.
does.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not that she doesn't know how to use YouTube. She hasn't really grasped the Apple TV remote control,
I
which
got
really
it.
is like a one button kind of thing. You know,
I
it's
don't
like
have we don't have Apple
forward.
TV,
Okay.
but yeah.
So every day she goes to set this up, and every day, of course, it's broken.
But then you get it to work.
It's yeah, she doesn't know how to use the remote
The
control.
thing that
It
drives me
doesn't
nuts with
understand the difference, by the way, sorry not to go between
yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
and YouTube TV also. That those two things are completely different.
That's funny.
So
That's
you'll
funny.
never
Yeah.
find the Jules Horn bouncing video on the YouTube TV.
YouTube TV. It's
That's where
not
I was
yeah.
watching the Cowboys Eagles
It's not
game
on
last.
ESPN. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like YouTube, that concept is gone. I feel like
Yeah.
sending all this shit to Nate Bargatze and letting
Yeah.
him turn it into an actual routine.
He's so good at that stuff where, well, the thing with him, he's always the butt, right? So he would be the one in his house. In his stuff, it's like his wife's always the one figuring it out. So he would be like, he didn't know that there was a difference between YouTube and YouTube TV.
Why
We
would
have
there?
it where for
Right,
some reason on
naturally.
all our TVs, they're so far apart, and I can't get, obviously I use YouTube TV like way more than YouTube, but for some reason, like on all the smart TVs in our house, the whatever many we have, YouTube is always the first one, and YouTube TV is always like hidden. No matter how many times I move it to the first one, because that's the one we watch the most, um, it just disappears every time. So
Oh,
we all
ours is
kind of know
first and
that.
last also. I don't know why. YouTube is the front and then YouTube TV
Yeah, it
is
has all these stuff I never even use, don't even
which
have
was another
sign-ons. Yeah,
prompt. I even said, I said, honey, like YouTube is over here. It's that one.
yeah,
This one that says YouTube down here. Don't use this one. Okay.
yeah.
You
There
wanna
must be something, and I'm not saying, Kate and my kids, but there's a general thing in people who are like, if it doesn't work, it must be broken. And I've
has to
never been that way. I think maybe it's because we're the ones that fix so many times, but like whenever my kids or anyone, my wife, whoever is like, this is broken, my first thought is like, it's probably not. It might be, but it's probably not. And then with this thing, I knew it. Like I could picture what my son did. I knew what he did.
see, I just go with I'm broken. Like I,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, like nothing else. Like the reason things are going wrong or not working is because it's all because I'm
It's
broken.
my
That's
fault. It's
right.
our
It's
fault.
my,
Yeah, yeah.
I have to fix me, and if I fix me, there's a chance that this other stuff in my life
Yeah.
will go somewhat
Well, this
right.
was just straight 12-year-old dumbass boy. Yeah, I can do it. That voice they get where like they're so confident and then they come that meager like, have you started yet? Because like I can't do it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I knew it was gonna happen. I saw the future. The future with you telling me it's
Breakthrough
broken.
moment though, like because again, like you're at 12, we always talk about your kids are younger and
Yeah.
everything, but the breakthrough moment of like not like doing every single thing for your kids, like
Yeah.
it was Friday. Auden was coming home. His plane was delayed like an hour. I already didn't really want to go to the airport and drive 40
Yeah.
minutes, pick him up, and then drive 40 minutes back. And it was like a breakthrough like moment where like I just kind of cast guilt aside. I'm not going to beat
Get
myself
an
up for
Uber.
being like, yeah, for being like a horrible father or like
Yeah.
anything. Like I was just like, hey, take an Uber. We'll be up when you get home. You know,
So
like
you'll appreciate this. I have where we live, you were just here. We're 15 minutes from West Palm. Couldn't be more convenient. I'll pick anyone up at West Palm. But we're a full hour from Fort Lauderdale. So I always tell friends who come in or family, I go, happy to get you at West Palm. Use the Uber for Fort Lauderdale. After the 30-minute mark, I have no guilt. It's a huge pain in the ass for me. It's a 2.5 hour round trip to get you, where it's a 50-minute trip one way. So I had that when I first moved here, and even Steph was like,
my mind is
like,
like
why
I
are you
always
driving to
like
Fort Lauderdale?
I,
Yeah.
my mind it works differently. They're like, yeah, that's like first thing. Oh, like what kind of dad like doesn't go and get his kid, when
I
he's
haven't had to deal with my kids doing it yet, so it is
coming
different.
home, and then I'm like, well, I get him all the time, like every time.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, why would I break the streak? And then I'm like, but I'm really tired. So like, is it safe? Is it responsible for me to like
There you go. It's not even it's being a
drive?
better father to stay home, actually.
Right.
I
I'm
agree
like,
with
I
you.
think I'm making the right decision because I'm tired already and I have to drive all the way there, drive back. Isn't this the safe,
I
responsible,
think
good,
I think
good
you I think you went the other way and it was smart. You actually decided that this is the better parenting move is to not put yourself and your child at risk because you're too groggy from driving.
good decision there. Hang on, I gotta pause. Mm. This is delicious, I want to tell you. These are the Kion aminos that we
Oh, I
picked
haven't opened them
up at
yet. I have them.
Eudaimonia, and they're mango flavored, and they're
I have the same thing you
fantastic.
have. Yeah, I think I haven't opened them yet. They're
They
literally
are they
sitting.
are delicious. Not sponsored yet, okay? But right
Yeah.
now these are
Are you
absolutely,
just drinking them like with water? I have just plain
yeah,
water. Oh, okay.
yeah. I just did
That's
it
what I
with
get
water
going.
because when I first wake up, I have my
I don't even know where we got these.
creatine and my little gut powder that I
Yeah.
take to kind of keep my gut firing on all cylinders, in there.
Yeah, I got it.
And my coffee, which is decaf, and my collagen and everything. So I'm like, then after I did my bouncing routine and got ready for this call, I was like, okay, I made my
28
little
lymphatic minutes.
amino
You know what's funny that I do?
really good.
Stuff makes fun of me all the time now is I've learned and I've read over the years like it's better to have your if you're gonna have caffeine. I know you have like stomach issues with caffeine or whatever, but like now recent for you, but it's better to have it later and then like push off your caffeine as long as possible if you have no problem with caffeine. But I like having I get up early or when the kids leave for school, whatever. I like writing for like an hour, but caffeine's like part of the routine. So I actually have decaf also when I start the day, and then I
So
don't
I
have
don't miss,
caffeine till
yeah,
like
I
1 o'clock.
don't miss the caffeine in the morning now that
Yeah,
I'm used to it. What I would miss is I would miss the process of making my coffee, which is what I really enjoy. I
right.
like,
That's what I like
the
doing.
beans and into the Brayville coffee thing that we have. And then I
Yeah,
like pushing the button and doing the whole thing. I don't really care that there's caffeine or not. And then I like
yeah,
putting in the collagen and the MCT and like, yeah, I sit outside.
yeah.
That I need. The caffeine doesn't
Yeah,
matter that much to me, but around 3 o'clock, I start dragging now.
yeah, that's my 3 to 5 is my dead time. Have you tried the Go BHB stuff yet? Have you seen it? Yeah, BHB. It's all over the place.
No, but what I've been going to
That
is
seems
the
to work.
Magic Mind. I think I told you about this, right?
Yeah, I just heard about this on another podcast too, Magic Mind.
Yeah, so I got the Magic Mind. It's like a little shot. It's like a little like elixir type thing.
Mushrooms and stuff.
I hope. I don't know totally, but
It's
it's
caffeine.
it has caffeine in it, but it also has like all these other, I don't know, like vitamins and minerals, and this whole little, of course, proprietary blend or
Yeah, yeah.
that I don't really go super deep down those rabbit holes on there, but I do look at the back. But I started taking this magic mind because it also like fits in my bag. Like if I'm out or I'm going to the gym or doing something or getting ready for a call, it's like a
Yeah.
little shot, like a mental performance shot.
I like that.
But it doesn't give me any of like the jitters or like the weird funky feeling that like a Red Bull or like now if
You
I
know
get
what's funny?
jacked up caffeine in a
I've never
coffee, like
experienced that. All the years of hearing like no chat, no crash, no jitters. Maybe I think I've done that test where like I'm very non-caffeine sensitive. I can have a lot of it and it doesn't I can have it at 5 and go right to sleep, no problem later. But I've never had that feeling. So whenever people say that, I'm like, oh, well, okay.
oh, I would get that when I was drinking a lot of
But I don't
caffeine.
drink a lot of caffeine.
I'd get like the fluttery eye and the weird feeling, and then I would crash. So now I'm trying this, and I like it because it's simple. Like I don't want to go through the whole coffee process in the afternoon or
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
and I need to go like call it like 3 to 6:30. Like I
yeah,
really that's an important window now. Over.
yeah. Yep.
So I just take this little thing. I like it. It tastes good. Not that that really matters to me. I've never like I was
Yeah.
like this is delicious, but normally like I'm not somebody who gives a shit about
Ice water. Yeah.
taste. I care more than like, okay, am I getting what I need to get? And I'll
Yeah.
bypass. But it's fine. It's like a done. Twist a little cap. And
Yeah, I do.
you know
That's
what?
I'll take, dude, at least 2 or 3 days a week at like 5. I'll take like a 15-minute nap. I'll just be like, I just need 15 minutes. My eyes have been on the screen. I've been doing stuff. And especially on the days where I find I have like swim practice, I'll take a nap before, which is like the old like Olympic trick, like before the big event, they take a nap a couple hours before.
No, I can't do it. What I am doing now is I'm sleeping in a little bit later. I
Yeah.
don't find myself wanting to get up and actually like work out
Yeah.
before like we do this and other things. Like even this morning, I said I'm going to. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to. And then I was like, fuck it. No, like I'm finding I'm having a lot better day when I sleep in a little bit more,
Yeah.
go
Same.
through my hydration and my kind of coffee routine. I walk the dogs. That's an hour. I will
You walk
walk.
for a full hour. See, I do about 30, 25 minutes. It's about an hour and a half. I'm sorry, a mile and a half. And I go to flip-flops, like super leisurely pace. I don't ruck or do any of that stuff with it. I just walk the dogs. I actually have a funny thing I was going to write about later, like
It
how
is,
I,
it's an hour. It's 20 minutes. It's basically 20 minutes a mile.
yeah,
I walk straight down my block. It's literally a mile and a half from my house to a
there
rec
and
center,
back.
to the
Yeah,
back of the rec center, do a quick loop at the track, like walk in the outdoor track where
yeah.
it says no dogs past this point. I go right past that
Every
point
day. Yeah, there you go.
every day. I make one lap and I walk right back, and it's exactly 3 miles in 1 hour. And when I do that, the dogs, by the way, are the dogs are great dogs.
Yeah,
Like they're different animals when I do that
yeah.
consistently.
Same. Ours goes
What is it, like a
nuts.
tired dog is a happy dog or something
Dude,
like
ours does 2 walks now with Steph home a lot. Like I'll walk him and then I'll walk her. And then Steph will like before or after Pilates, whatever she does, she'll go then do like a ruck for like an hour and take her again. And I'm like, she just walked for an hour and a half. And then by 4, she'll be like, let's play, let's play, let's play. It's like, dude.
we do that. We do a post dinner walk now too. Where it's gone is like the morning routine has gotten so much better as far as like just sleeping in a little bit, walking the dogs for an hour,
Yeah.
clearing my head, doing the little bouncy routine. By the way, this is now like an hour and a half. I mean,
I was
over
about to say
it
this
is
is
like two
this
hours.
is a
It's not like when I
long,
say sleep in, like I'm still up at like 6.
yeah.
Basically roll out, get out of bed, let the dogs out, feed them and do everything. So kind of like 7 to 9 is almost like a 2 hour deal to just walk the dogs, do the little bouncy thing, have a good breakfast, get ready, for the day. And then
That's an impressive routine. I would do that. I mean, I have the kids, right? So like, they're home, they're getting up. By the time I get them off to the bus or whatever, it's already 7:30-ish. So my 6:30 to 7:30 is basically them, just
yeah.
getting them. But after that is when I walk the dog, and that's my like zone out warm up for the workout. And mine's a little shorter, like I said, than yours, 25 minutes or so. And then for forever, and for 10 years, I was getting up at 5 to work out, but the last year or so I would work out right then.
Because I've
Um,
got the strength training now down to like 2 days, really. I'm not
Me
really
too.
lifting more than 2 days because with
Yeah,
the
I'm
other
doing
stuff
Monday,
that we're
Thursday now.
doing,
Yeah.
yeah, like with the swimming and with the walking and the rucking, and I like to do a little sprinting and I like to do the boxing and all the other stuff. I really am kind of going in this, which is why it was also nice to meet Mark Sisson out there.
Yeah.
He's a big proponent of the 2 day a week. strength
Full
training,
body, 2 days,
full
done.
body, 2 days, go hard, like go
Yeah,
hard, go heavy, if you will. And then the rest of the week, you're walking, you're swimming, you're riding a bike, you're doing all these other things. And that as you get older, your body needs more time to recover.
dude.
I find that to be very relatable right
Yeah,
now. I just don't have the same desire to like wake up and just like crush
get
weight.
after it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I found this weekend I had a funny, so I had a run. I don't take days off, like we've talked about it before. Like I only take days off when I feel like I need them. I don't schedule. I literally just like, you know what? I'm exhausted. I'm taking tomorrow off. I always do the next day that I'm gonna take off. And Friday morning, my brother and I, we play basketball every Friday, as you know, and we had just a battle, dude. And it's Florida heat. It was like 82. We played one-on-one games to 11, and it took like an hour and 20 minutes. And if you play hoops one-on-one, it was just a slog, man. It was like all three games went to 11. Every game was 25 minutes. I couldn't like my legs were quivering. Like we were both like, this is hilarious, like how hard we're trying. Anyway, I lost the third game. But so Saturday I was like, I'm gonna take it easy. And then we ended up going to the beach and it was just like it happened to be just the flattest, most glorious beach day. So I always have my goggles. So my son and I went. I did like a mile and a half, just kind of easy, but still did it. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have done like all of that. I'm pretty tired. So I still went to my swim practice Sunday morning, which was a huge heavy kick thing and all this stuff. And I had forgotten that we had already planned since my brother's going away this week, our annual like football game that we play. We are going to do Sunday because they're traveling to Nashville for the week. So we went and did that yesterday, right after my practice for like an hour and a half. And I'm telling you, it felt like I did an Ironman after those. Like I am not doing anything today. I was exhausted yesterday. I took an hour nap at like 2 to 3. And that would never would have happened 10 years ago. I could just go, go, go. So like to your point, I hit that point where like I was like, oh my God, I'm genuinely worn out. And all I did was these kind of three moderate things 3 days in a row, but I didn't give myself any real recovery. And to what you said is like that's what I need, and that's what Sisson talks about. Like I really need to build in that day of nothing or just walking or whatever.
Yeah. I look, that's it. We just come back, like it gets we can overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
But it really just comes back to mastering the basics. And when you start listening to guys that make sense, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. And I could actually do that. I'm gonna actually lift today because today is my lift day. So I did my little,
Yeah.
but I also debated like, oh, I should put the weight vest on or the others. I'm like, no, like I'm gonna lift today. Like don't compound the like more
Yeah.
is not better again
Yes.
on
I have a monologue coming out about how I totally ruined my walk and now how I've got it back. I
I
somehow made the most enjoyable, relaxing part of my day completely miserable, all on stupid things in my own head. And now like I've wrestled it back to just me, the dog, and walking in flip-flops, and it feels
And
fantastic.
that's what you should do. There's a guy who walks in my neighborhood. He walks barefoot. So today he motivated me, and today I walked around. I did it without shoes on. I don't think
Yeah.
it was such a great idea, but I will say I found
Yeah.
that it forces you to focus.
Do you mean like on
Meaning,
the sidewalk, no
yeah,
shoes?
like I was just walking, yeah, down the sidewalk and everything
Yeah,
else.
here I think the red ants would be a big problem. I think
Okay,
you
here it's the acorns and other shit that like
yeah,
just.
that too, but I think there's enough
But
things, yeah, that would be tough.
what I found was that it forced me to focus. I had to like I couldn't be on my phone, couldn't be doing it. I had to actually look at the ground because if I wanted to like avoid stubbing my toe or like stepping
Yeah,
on
yeah.
acorns, I was like really laser focused though on how my feet felt and how they hit the ground. Like why
What are
did
those ones with the shoes with the
so
you
there's
know
like a Vivo Vibram, the flat
yeah, so he doesn't even
and
use
then
those. Those are frowned
so
upon.
so this guy in my neighborhood doesn't, but like Sisson is making these shoes. That's why we did this whole walk down at Eudaimonia. I can't remember what they're called, Peluvo for something or other, but they're like a flat shoe, but his have you put your toes in, like there's like a little space for each
Those
toe.
oh, okay. I don't
Yeah, and
understand.
I don't think I could ever actually really like, I might be able to wear those only around the neighborhood, like for walks and just to protect my
Yeah.
actual feet, but I could never go out like in public again, like
The
wearing
toe
those.
gloves. Yeah.
Yeah, like I could never go
Well,
out
you
like
see those videos, those pictures of
everywhere because
people where they have like business shoes on and their foot is now cramped and they have all these toe issues and like that's a problem. But I'm a flip-flop guy for long enough. Unless I'm working out, I almost don't have shoes on. So I feel like my foot's very wide and spread out anyway. So
I think I'm like that most of the time too. If it's a
yeah.
big hike or a big event, I'll wear some cushion because that's like a duration thing. You're just
Yeah.
time on your feet when it gets beyond
Oh, you have to, yeah.
5, 10, 20 hours. You're just like, okay. but I think you train your feet, you train your ankles as flat as possible and as naturally as possible, and then you can add
Well,
some.
that guy, the knees over toes guy who you've talked about before, he has a line of shoes coming out. Who, by the way, congrats to him. Like he was just on Tim Ferriss. Like I feel like I was telling my son actually because I have him doing some of the workouts. I was like, I've been following this guy. I feel like since I'm not gonna say day one, but like the early videos of seeing him dunk. I'm like, I want to be here to do that. Anyway, he finally like I guess has made it. Anyway, but to your point, he's making shoes. They look like they're like regular shoes on the bottom, and then they come super round up top. So like you can fully flat, and it only has like maybe a quarter inch or a half inch of foam, nothing. So the idea is that it's all for all the flexibility and ankle flexion and everything. You don't have that big foamy lift on the back.
Ultra does a good job of that too. Anyway, we could talk shoes and all this, but I like the Ultra
Do a shoe
Solstice for
breakout.
lifting, the Ultra Lone Peak, and you're hiking. Very wide toe box, really good shoes. Um, okay.
Do I start the show?
What is like, what did Mark Maron say? Can we take it now since he stopped doing his podcast or whatever? He's like, okay, let's do the show. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all right, let's do the show. I was talking about the show on our walk this morning because I realized we have like 4 or 5 episodes of the show,
Yeah.
and we've said nothing about the show. So if
I
you've been with
know.
us for 4 or 5 episodes,
Yeah.
thank you for finding it. Okay.
Yeah. We haven't
But
even, yeah. Soft
but I
launch.
think there's something to this like build in public to like say you're going to do something.
Yeah.
You just kind of go out there and like you start doing it. And without
Yeah.
any real fanfare or like big announcement, and I kind of build it up. And I guess the thought was like, let's test it and like let's build some thumbnails and let's like put it up there. So when we say something about it, it doesn't look like, oh, there's
Yeah.
like one of one, or
Right.
whatever. But now we're like several weeks into
I
it.
think five or yeah, five
And I
maybe.
think we're kind of like hitting our stride, guys. As we're doing this,
Very good show. You should be watching it.
jump right in, hit
Yeah.
your stride, and go because it's very real.
Yeah.
Can't be
Yeah.
more real than this. Like
Yeah.
on here. But this notion of like how things get momentum, like even whether it's your knees over toe guys or any of these guys out there, including us, you just kind of start doing something and then you
Yeah.
just keep doing it.
It's a
And
good
as you
routine.
keep doing it, you just get a little bit better at
Yeah.
doing it. And you can't have like a great episode 10 unless maybe you've had like a mediocre episode 2 or 3,
Well, right. Like every single person who's done anything like this, or honestly, who's ever created anything, no matter what it is, when you look back 3, 5, 10 years, you look at the first X number and you go, oh. So you have to do, like I always tell younger writers who are like, oh, the first book, first this. I'm like, look, no one writes a first book masterpiece. And I guarantee you, even the person who maybe did 10 years later is like, I would have done 50 things differently if I did it now. So you just have to kind of throw up the first
You're almost better
six
off
months.
just like
Yeah.
starting again, like perfect
Yeah.
being the enemy is good of good. Like
Yeah.
you're just better off starting and just going and like not even looking, watching, or like go back and look at it in 10 years because like you said, but don't look at it tomorrow, or the day
Yeah.
after.
Dude,
Uh,
even our
Go
newsletter,
out
like
and
if you
do it.
look at the first couple issues, we're on issue 100 something. Like we've changed it 7 times.
Yeah.
We didn't
But
know what
we've
we
been
didn't know.
talking a lot lately, like, the whole like Instagram thing, like, hey, good morning, like
Yeah.
on there. I feel like that's like I ebb and flow with that. Like sometimes I have something to say and I want to say it, so I'll do it. But other times I don't like it when it's forced or like, oh, I have to talk every day or say
Yeah.
something profound. But this morning I was like, oh, I knew we were doing this. And I
I
just
look forward to
and
it
I
too.
kind of felt I was like, oh, okay. Like, hey guys, just wanted to like let you know, like we've been doing this midlife lately thing for like 4 weeks right now. We
Here's
haven't
a
said
link.
right, we haven't said a word about
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna do it again this morning with John. Like, here's what we're gonna do. It's
Yeah.
gonna keep getting better every week. And now it's like sometimes you get a little fearlessness, a little like just go out and build in public or
Yeah.
confidence, like we were saying, from just doing enough shit and like eating enough shit over time where we really just don't care as much what anyone's going to say. Be like, hey, here's what
Yep.
we are, and this is what's happening, and let's
Yep.
just do it and put it out there. So I think Ben's going to like post it a little bit later, like he'll do something to
Yeah.
it. And like, there's the thing, like we'll get out there and make a real announcement at some point about this.
Dedicated send and all that. Yeah.
On there. But in the meantime, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, like, what are you waiting for? Like, I get this even with a lot of clients and everything
Yeah.
too. It's like, just stop waiting. Just do the thing again, like we keep talking about. Just go out there and do it. And then
Hmm.
this is what I did, and like let me know if you like it, great. Come back around. And if you don't like it, it'll get better, and maybe you'll come back around. And if you never like it, like so what? You're not for us anyway.
If you never like it, we don't like you, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Okay, confession. I want to start with your column
Yes.
from this week, and the reason I want to start with your column for this week is I didn't read it. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about Sherlock Holmes, and what you heard about this or back. And the reason I did not read it, not to insult you, your column is always great. I am so tired.
The mere act of reading our own newsletter is exhausting at this point.
I'm so tired of creating, doing, and talking and being around like even like amazing people. Like the last 10 days, I feel is the absolute definition of like too much of a good thing is too
Yeah.
much of a good thing.
Dude, I mean, you had a run of the last week or so that wasn't my favorite part of all of it, being on the inside of it, for people who even know you or don't know you, is that it fits who you are slash who kind of the we are as a brand in that it wasn't all scheduled. It was perfectly set up. One thing was scheduled, the Eudaimonia event that we were going to. That was like 6 months ago. We've been planning it. You pitched the you'd pitched the column. I mean the panel. But then like a thing came up, like some dude, Bart texted you, was like, "Hey, what about this skyline thing?" And you were like, "I'm ready." Like your whole column. I'm prepared. Yes, I'm in. And parallel to that, we've been working on something else with someone who we kept. Well, you've talked about Jesse now in the post and stuff like that. If people saw it, and then that happened to come about the same time, and it was like, yes and yes, and the whole idea of our lives are like, unless it's we always say hell yes or no, like that's it. They were all hell yeses. So the way we put a funnel on something, should we or shouldn't we? It's either a hell no or a hell yes. And to me, all the things that were put into this thing were all hell yeses. There was no lukewarm. There was no, as the kids would say, like mid decision. They were all. There's really no decision to make here. And so that's why I appreciated it, having knowing you personally, knowing what we're about. It's like, yeah, the reason you say no to some of the bullshitty stuff in the last couple of months is so that if these things shape up, it's not like, oh my God, I just did this version 2 weeks ago and it was all kind of eh. These were all like done, 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 all made sense.
I felt that. Glad you felt that.
I
Now
felt it.
I'm in the like this weekend in particular was the like exhale kind of like, okay, I could cry from gratitude and fatigue. Like all
Yeah.
weekend long,
Yeah,
curl up
yeah,
in the
yeah.
ball and like try to recover and go, wait a minute, like what happened?
Yeah.
And now what is the cleanup? Like the priorities and the cleanup. Like what do we have to do now?
Yeah.
That's not where we were going. We were
No,
going
so the column, so
about
yeah, that's right.
Sherlock
You're asking the
Holmes.
column.
Then we can
So
go
yeah,
this
this
other
and
thing.
yeah, so I read a ton, as everybody knows. I write a ton,
Yeah.
and I'm like a dork with books and characters, literary characters. And there's this famous speech that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle writes as Sherlock Holmes called "The Brain Attic." And I'll tell the 2 minute version of the story because it's a really good story. So you have Sherlock Holmes. If you know about Sherlock Holmes, you know he's the world's greatest detective, basically. And people don't realize how long ago it was. These books were coming out in the 1880s. So this isn't like some people think like because of the Benedict Cumberbatch show and some of these other modern interpretations that it was in the 40s or 50s. No, this is 130 years ago he's writing these books. And one of the greatest writing devices that Conan Doyle does is he reveals a lot about his characters in the there's the show don't tell that like every writer like, show don't tell. But the other kind of corollary to that is tell through dialogue. So he's not just saying like this is how I am. It's through a conversation with someone else that he reveals who he is. So this someone else obviously is Watson, like his esteemed assistant Watson. Elementary, my dear Watson, for anybody who remembers just the very basics of the Sherlock Holmes tome. And so there's a moment in A Study in Scarlet, which is one of the early Holmes books, where they're having like banter, a little bit of just idle banter. And he's talking, Watson's telling Holmes about like the Copernican theory and the solar system. And Watson and Holmes is like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And he's like, what? And Watson's like, what do you mean you don't understand like the moon and the sun and like you don't understand how it goes. And he says, and Holmes is like, well, honestly, like whether the sun goes around the moon or the moon goes around the sun or the earth goes around the moon and the sun, it doesn't matter to me. We still have to solve this case, and none of those happened on the sun and none of them happened on the moon. And Watson's like beside himself. Like, I don't, you're a learned man. Children know of the solar system and of Mars and the planets. And Holmes just looks at him and goes, "What the deuce is that to me?" Which is back then saying like, "Who gives a shit?" And he's like, "I don't understand." He goes, and he says, "Watson, there is he goes, I look at my mind as a brain attic, and if a man is going to be building something in his attic, then he only has room for the things he needs to build and the things he can store in there. And what you need to understand is if you're going to have a finite amount of space and a finite amount of things you care about, you can't stuff the attic with too many things because eventually you're going to have something you want to store that you don't have room for or you quickly forget. So a man must keep his brain attic as clean as possible and as true as possible to what his passions are. And it's so true today, right? Like whatever you're into, whatever I'm into, Holmes wasn't having access to Google or AI or ChatGPT. He was just talking about general things in the world, politics, space, stuff he didn't. Now he did know about these things later on. He kind of he's proving a point to Watson, but for the purposes of unclogging your mind now, which is why I wrote the article, it's like we all have our brain addict. And I know too many people, too many smart people who are just becoming drowned in 24/7 news. And it doesn't matter which way on politics you are. It doesn't matter how into sports you are. It doesn't matter what your top of news thing is. Even just the idea of just breaking news. I know people who are like, "Did you see this thing?" And I'm like, "What?" "Oh, in Sri Lanka, there was this mudslide." I'm like, "Dude, I mean, we didn't evolve to know what was happening in Sri Lanka. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't follow it. I hope they're okay." But like, you could spend all day on like, dog drowns in
Hope
the
they're
like,
okay. Let's make sure we throw in that we're compassionate. I hope
yeah,
they're okay,
yeah, but
but
like, you
no
can't,
room in my attic for this.
no, yes, there's people, and you know them too, who it's like, and I make a point in the article that you can go online right now and you see like a horrible car accident, a guy telling you to take this peptide or die. Then there's this horrible thing that happened to this horrible person, or horrible thing that happened to these kids somewhere. And then these people are starving. And then there's a flood over here. And oh, by the way, like this politician said this thing you're supposed to hate. And this sports team made this trade. And it's like, breathe. Like you won't get anything done if your brain all day is filled with all of that stuff. And it isn't that it isn't important. It's just that what's important to you. And I think people have lost the plot. They want to be up to date on so much that they've cluttered their brain
I
out to the
actually
point
think
where they
that's it right there. I don't
yeah,
want to be. I think that's it. I don't want to be up to date
no.
on on everything. There was another thing that came across. By the way, thank you for giving me the Cliff Notes version because it's spot on and it's so true. There was the thing that it came across my feed this morning. Uh, because I'm still stupid. I still do that. I check shit that I'm not really supposed to. Two things. One was good, one was complete bullshit. I'll get to both of them. But the first one was like another study that some guy posted that basically said that like exercise and sleep reduce like anxiety and stress or something, or make you
Oh my
healthier and live
yeah.
longer. Can we just like be done with
It's
it? If you don't know that exercise and good sleep are good for you at this point,
yeah.
and they're going to reduce your stress and anxiety and
Yeah.
reduce your health issues, like you're a fucking idiot. And if you don't actually exercise and sleep well and eat pretty well, you're like even 10 times the fucking idiot because this is just a fact. Any statistical fact. I don't even need to see one more published report or a newer version of whatever that tells us what we already know. That exercise is good for you. It is. It's good for you, period. Let's not
Yeah.
sleep is good for you, period. But going down again all of these rabbit holes, and it could be 9,000 influencers or whoever it is, or science guys, or even putting these, the latest study on the same thing out there. Didn't
Or
do
the
a
reverse,
single
like a
thing
fear
for me.
study.
Didn't
Yeah.
make me happy. Didn't do anything. Just actually frustrated me because it's more of what I already knew. And it's kind of like to the guy who put it out there, dude, like you're beyond this. Like I don't think it did anything for you to put it out there. Like you didn't appear smarter. If anything, like it would have
Yeah.
been better that like new report came out telling me exactly what I learned 20 years ago. Thank
Yeah.
you. Moving on. But the other thing that did make me smile and did make me happy was what I sent to you was the Stillers.
Oh, so great. Yeah, he's the best. And that's where like I wish you could cure, and that's why I've said for so many times on these apps, like whether it's Twitter or whatever it is, like I usually curate for sports and comedy. And if you do that, you can get annoyed with breaking sports news. I don't over-index on it too much, other than like maybe my teams. But comedy rules. Like if you're just going on there, and I've seen people, I'm sure you have them, where like you
If
just
you
kind
want to
of
be
catch.
happy, watch shit that's funny.
Dude, I know. If you catch it,
Seriously.
yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. You'll be sitting next to a buddy or you're having a drink, you see their feed and it's just like Fox, CNN alerts, MSNBC alert, whatever, whatever, whatever. Politician,
Can we
politician,
just go back
politician.
to the stuff that makes us
And I go
happy and
back and
stuff?
I'm like Shane Gillis, like
Right.
hilarious something or other, like a Stiller thing, like an old
Mine is
SNL
like
skit.
comedy, and mine is like actually it's comedy and like style. Like I really like good
Yeah,
style,
that's pretty
and
safe.
it's still women. Like it really is like good looking women. Like it just makes me happy during the day. So I like
Yeah,
those three things are pretty much. I don't even watch people working out anymore. These other things, like I kind of like stopped following all of that other
yeah,
stuff
I never
because
did.
I found it to be exhausting.
I find
All
it
the
so
influencer
performative.
stuff, all the product stuff, all the
Yes.
other stuff. I find it to be exhausting, and I can't look at any of the news either because the news
Wow.
just drives me bonkers. To your point, my
Yeah.
attic,
Yeah.
my brain attic doesn't have space
Well,
for
this is why my
pretty
recommendation
things
is
and
always
funny things.
books, right? Like you don't get this if you're reading a book, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, on a topic, there's nothing to get distracted about. That's you're interested in it, and it's 300 pages, and there's no tech behind it, and you just read it.
I'm
So,
almost on the Jack Carr book.
oh, good. That's a good, yeah.
I'm almost
Cry
there.
Havoc, is that the one you're reading?
I have it. Yeah, I hit a little low when I was on this last stretch for the
Yeah,
last.
it's yeah.
I brought it and it was a really great prop for my computer to get my laptop
It's
up a
very
little
thick.
high.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell Jack. Yeah,
But
good.
I did not open it the whole stretch that I was gone, because I was obsessed that I would forget my questions or certain things
Yeah, you got a
on other
lot you got to
stuff that
break
I was
out.
working on, and then I realized I didn't open any of them at either the
Oh,
Jesse interview or
that's
the
funny.
panel that I had paper with me and so over prepared, and I didn't open or look at either paper.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I do and my nighttime, like I basically read every night either depending on when, but like either a half hour, 9:30 to 10, 10 or 10:30. So like to me, and I actually we've talked about like I actually break out times during the day to just read it. I read at lunch. I don't I put my computer away if I'm eating. And if my wife's not home or something, like I'll read. I take the book out like an old man. I sit and read with like a sandwich and a book. But it ends up giving me like a good 45 minutes a day plus to just read, with no screen and no distraction. And so, I've been doing way more fiction lately because I'm writing fiction, so I'm getting, I'm doing all that stuff. But like the Tupac biography and some of these books are like they're so good that you end up just kind of diving into this one topic for a very long time, as opposed to being distracted by that endless doom scroll thing.
Read more books, people. That's and read more books for fun. We don't mean like just
No, dude,
self-help books
we should
and
do.
all
I
that
do have
other
to do a
stuff.
whole show
No,
on.
like
Yeah,
this is like the other
yeah.
is paralysis by analysis of constant self-improvement and just getting every other book that can make you more
I don't read
confused
any of
about
those. You
make
won't find a single self-help anything back. These are all fiction, nonfiction, but also like stories on cool stuff. I should
not,
do that one of these
not
shows.
self-help, not self-help. That will
Yeah,
just make you happier, healthier, wealthier, stronger, and have more fun, which includes
right.
more sex and what
And a picture of your
yeah.
face in your office.
This is purely for optics, is what this is.
Yeah, yeah.
Purely for optics. Okay, so what do we have in store for this week coming up?
This week we have a lot. I mean, we have to figure out a bunch of things that we can get into on our like work call. But we've got a lot of brands. We've got our Midlife Male action plan, which we're finalizing. Is the to me that's the big thing to get launched and get going for everybody, um, work wise. For me,
Got
health.
that. We've got our 2026 calendar that we've got to
We have an excellent adventure in February. We got to like
and release. We've got an excellent adventure coming up in February.
yeah.
Got some key opportunities with some brands and partners that we really like, which is the key and that really are aligned with what we're trying to do. We got we got a lot in
Dude,
here.
it's
We
been a
got
crazy
guys
like
that want to finish strong and turn the corner stronger and
yeah.
be part of either the private group or the coaching and everything else. And you just try to like, yeah, compartmentalize on
We
something.
have so many things
Prioritize.
now that people can be a part of, right? Like there's levels now. We this time last year we had a newsletter that we were just kind of kicking around. we didn't really even have the columns set up the way they were. We didn't have the things that we where we were, but now it's like we have we have the Greg's upper tier private group. We have we have excellent events. You can come in person. We have other events that we're doing where we're being kind of hosting a group at the event that someone else is hosting. We've got our own events that we have coming up next year. Then we have the issue, which is free every Wednesday and every Sunday anyway. So we have a lot of entry points for people. And then this coming soon is our products, our online seminars, and all those kind of things. So it's man, it's a lot, and it's also exciting because this is a time of year everybody takes stock. And like I was looking at last November, I mean, we 10x. We were at like 3,200 readers, and now we're at 30,000 readers. That's fucking crazy. That's just a crazy amount of. That's like a good sized city of people reading.
It is, but
Yankee Stadium.
yes, that we'd love to fill Yankee Stadium one day.
I think it's more Fenway. Fenway's
That's
like
Midlife.
32,000 probably.
We're never doing anything at Fenway. I just
I'm
want
just saying, I think the new Yankee Stadium is much bigger. I think Fenway's closer to our size readership.
That's fine. Your vision can be at the summit at Fenway. Mine can be at Yankee State. We can't do both.
That's
Okay.
all right. I'll be
Pearl
there.
Jam can play Fenway. Midlife Male is not playing
I
Fenway.
bet I've been to Yankee Stadium, probably like 50 times. I imagine you've only been to Fenway once or twice.
I actually did. I went to Fenway once. I've
Yeah,
actually, no, it's been more than once, but we did have an epic experience. We took the kids to Fenway when they were younger and really into
that's
baseball.
the best. Yeah.
And we saw the first Astros game when they changed, they did all the divisional changes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
We went to see the Astros play the Red Sox, and the game went 15 innings,
That's so
and we
funny.
stayed, and we got a ball.
Oh, that rules.
It
Yeah.
was
The extra
freaking
baseball is fun. That now it's actually moves quicker, but I went to a game once, it's like a 15 or 16 inning game. My buddy and I drove up from New Jersey to go. My best friend Eddie's a diehard Yankees fan, and we used to go one day every summer. We would drive up and stay and do bad, just to do it at Fenway. Because I went to a million Yankees games, an old Yankee Stadium. We just take the train in. It was easy. And it was one of those where it's like, is it really 12:50 and we're starting another inning? It's 12:50 a.m. We're going to do this. It was like, well,
Will
we're
it ever
here.
happen again? I guess it could happen again, right?
Well, it can, and they've had a few, but it's not like they start with a runner on second. Like it takes a lot less
Change
to
all
get
the
a run.
rules to like,
Yeah.
first of all, it'll extra innings will start sooner because the game is faster to begin with, and then they've changed
Yeah, honestly,
rules. And now
as
it's
an
like a
old
men's
school,
softball league because we used to have the
yeah,
same rules. Like it
yeah,
got
man on
to
second.
get to a point like put a guy in second, put a guy here, and like somebody's got to do this thing.
I'm had to evolve, man. But the peak of me kind of losing interest was when those Sox Yankees games in the late 2000s were just an automatic like 4.5 hour slot. It's just like you just can't do that. You can't have a 7:05 game end at midnight just on a Tuesday. I mean, it's insane. So I like the 2.5, like 2:45. It's a good time for a game. It's like a basketball game.
It
Anyway, we
is. Okay,
digress.
we got a lot coming up. We got a lot to do. We've covered a lot so far. So, guys, we when we jump from here, just so you guys know, we should bring you into this. We go right to like
That's right.
our weekly editorial work call. And we used to do it the other way. See, this is how like things kind of get a little bit better and
And we
improve.
would retell the same story and it
And then
wouldn't be
and
as
then they
good.
just didn't have the same thing. And it was like, so John and I like, well, why don't we have the Midlife Lately call first, okay, before we say everything and don't record it on the other call. And then
I'd
try to
forget. I'd tell a story and
recapture,
forgot what it was.
right, on there too. And then you're just trying too hard.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to memorize the script. We're not actors.
No, and I think it's important that people, if they're like, they'll get it over time as we do, but like we haven't spoken yet either. It's not like we don't prep, and I don't mean no prep in a bad way. I mean like it's truly behind the scenes of what's going
We're
on.
prepared that we're going to have a call every morning and we have to talk about certain things. That's
Yeah.
what we're going to
Oh,
do. We're going to
you didn't
talk
tell
about
me how sunburned I was, dude.
the newsletter. We are going to talk about what's going on in our lives. We're prepared for that, but we don't wake up and like talk before we
There's no
talk.
bullet points. We want to cover our columns and we want to cover our weekend. And oftentimes we don't start either of those till like 20 minutes in. So bear with us.
Exactly. All right. If you again have enjoyed what you hear on Midlife lately, you just kind of like shooting the shit with us in the mornings on this kind of thing. Just make sure that you're here on YouTube and make sure that you also subscribe to the newsletter so that you know also what we're talking about. So this stuff a lot makes sense. That's where you're also going to.
Rarely does Greg not read my column. This was a once-off thing where I'm explaining to him what we had in our own newsletter, but we'll get better as time goes on.
And
You have
by
to
the way, it's
forgive
very
me.
important to read John's column because I learn and I get a lot out of John's column. John's column, John's like John's a very smart guy. Okay, you gotta
Yeah.
get better. He brings some levity and some humor to it, and I think it's a nice counterbalance to my what's going on in the world, like what's wrong,
What?
right? Like,
Yeah.
what am I angry about? Like what's right, and like how did this happen, and how are we gonna fix it? Okay, and here's how you're gonna fix it, and everything else. You're just
Yes.
like, oh, okay, like. Here's what I think about small talk, or here's what I think about pickleball. The world needs both of these
Yeah.
things. And if you're subscribed, you are going to find out everything about the upcoming excellent adventures that we have, what we're doing with my private group, how you can make sure that tuned in, you're watching this kind of show, all the other stuff that John said. And while it sounds like it's a lot, it actually is kind of going according to plan in this kind of simplifying and staying really focused on meeting you guys where you are, serving you better, learning as we go, building in public, and just improving. And because that's how you develop momentum, and momentum is where the really good stuff happens.
Yes,
So
sir.
keep tuning
Yeah.
in.
All right.
All right.
And
Thank you guys. John, I will see you in a few minutes.
yes, sure.
Just time for a quick t-shirt change out of the fall classic into something else, and we move
Oh,
on.
this is I just got this. They sent me this from the meet I was at, so I threw
That's
it
what
on.
being a champion gets you.
Swimming Hall of Fame. They got this is the 50-meter platform, whatever the hell it is, the whole thing. It's usually the shirts are those beefy Hanes tees that
Of
are
course, we're
awesome.
about to break on this whole thing, but now I have to ask you, have you ever jumped off of one of those things?
Yeah.
Like the very, very top?
Yeah, I've done that one.
How high is that?
Terrifying. It's terrifying. It's like it's just it's so high. The way this is the way I would put it. The lower ones you jump off and you can't dive if you don't know how you're doing it because you can actually like break your wrists and snap your neck. So they tell you to jump. The lower ones you just kind of jump. The high one is so high you actually have time to think about how high it is. Your stomach clenches, like your ball, like you freak out. And they tell you like just keep your feet straight. You don't want to list forward. You don't want to like any kind of belly flop or anything from that is really bad. So it's a terrifying jump. It takes like a full it's like an NFL punt. It's like 3 full seconds where you're like, and then you hit it hard, like you hit the thing hard and go. But like when they dive, that's why they have their wrist taped, like in the Olympics and stuff. And they do this so that they don't, because you can at that height, like you can break bones. So terrifying is the main word I would say. But especially the cool part there is when you're standing up though, the Fort Lauderdale Hall of Fame, all around it is like $50 million yachts. It's surrounded by a marina. So the view, you're like, oh my God, like there's like the Sultan of whatever, and like Derek
I
Jeter's
don't want to
boat.
do it. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it right now. Like I've gone bungee jumping and I've jumped from some pretty high things.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do it.
It's not something I would be like, you have to. I would definitely be like, climb up and take the view in and then climb down. But like, I did it. It's fine. It's terrifying. I'm not gonna
I
say it's
don't
fun.
know. I've done, like I said, I've
Yeah.
done a few things. We did this other thing one time on vacation where I climbed up the side of like an oil tanker that was like a
Oh,
big
nice.
oil tanker, and then you jump off the back. And I jumped off that because the other thing was there's no way to get down otherwise. There's no
Yeah.
chance you were going back through this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could go all the way to the top of that, look out, and then do it. I feel like I would jump. Like I would, like when you jump, but you have to really, you have to
Yeah.
commit, and otherwise you're gonna like bang your head against the
It's
rocks.
high enough that your knees have that little thing, that little shaky thing where you're like, this seems like a really dumb idea. Um, But then what's funny is when I did it, they let us do it one of the top meets. They were like, hey, anybody who wants to go can do it because they were a diving meet was going on. And what made me motivated to do it is that before me, there was the practice and there was like three giggly 9-year-old girls like, wee, and I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not going to
But they're
punt.
so young, they don't even have any feet. Like
Yeah. They have no
it doesn't
bones. They're
occur,
made of rubber. Like it's not going to hurt them.
doesn't
Yeah.
occur to them that this is stupid. Okay.
I just
Like,
couldn't mentally get to the point where I was going to climb down next to them while they're climbing up laughing. It was like, okay, I can't be like, oh, you little girls have fun. I'm climbing down. It's too scared for me. So that was kind of what made me do it. And they're like, you'll have fun, go. And I didn't do it twice. So it's not like I was like, this is amazing, but once was enough.
yeah, I think I might have to get thrown off of the top. Like if a guy would push me,
Yeah.
like, hey, listen, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to face forward, and you're just going to come up behind and throw me off this thing.
I
That might be the
think
way I could do it.
I could be wrong, but you live right near Rice University. I'm pretty sure they have an indoor aquatics center. I bet you they have that. So
They might. Don't tempt
just
me.
just go 2 miles down the road or whatever it is, 5 miles
That's
away,
by the
maybe.
way, the way that I bungee jumped. Then what was I had guys pick me up.
Yeah.
We're on a bridge between like two mountains, and there's like
Yeah.
running water below, and it's really high. And I didn't think I could jump, so I had these guys pick me up and throw me off the side.
I've done the bungee jump. That's fine. When I was in Jamaica on spring break, we did cliff diving, I don't remember how high it was. It was
I
obviously
did
a
that,
lot
but it
worse.
wasn't high.
I don't feel like it was that
The only
high.
I was high. It wasn't like the actual
Plus,
high.
the ocean is
That's
there's something about this. The thing that kind of freaked me out was how glassy it was. Like it just feels like you're jumping into like just solid. Whereas the ocean, it's the waves. You kind of like froth your way in. So, listen, next time you're here, we'll drive down. I'll get you up there. You'll have a blast.
no, I won't. Okay.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit. 12
Goodbye.
o'clock.
Goodbye.
All
Yes.
right.